Hi everyone, this is Brian with Anderson Pens, and today I want to take a look at the brand new Conklin Crescent Ambrosia Limited Edition. Let's take a look. Okay, here we have the box for the Conklin Crescent Ambrosia Limited Edition. It's your standard Conklin box. We've got a serial number on the outside here of the sleeve. The nice large blue box, Conklin on the top. And we open it up. We've got some Conklin literature there. And let's pull the pen out. Let's take a look at it. I've got two of them here. This is a limited edition of 98 pieces. And in this beautiful ambrosia celluloid, and as you can see, it's semi-transparent. And the trim is all vermeil, so it's gold-plated sterling silver. Actually, I'll move this out of the way here for a second while we look at this one. This, very similar to the rest of your Conklin Crescent fillers. We've got your crescent here, your nice shiny lock ring. You've got a very, very tight clip here. This one's probably going to require two hands to get it into your pocket, one to lift the clip and the other to slide it in. But we got a lot going on here. Let's take a look. The cap band, first and foremost, Conklin and Mark Twain limited edition with their serial number right here. And then right next to it we have our sterling silver hallmarks. So that's where your hallmark is. We've got Conklin on the crescent there. And if we flip it over, crescent filler and trademark on the back side here. And if you weren't sure it was a Conklin, we also have Conklin here on the clip. Really a beautiful, beautiful celluloid. This pen is made in Italy. It's really fantastic. So let's open this up. You can see the silicone sac that's inside. So when you fill this with ink, you should be able to see the level of ink. We've got a matching celluloid section here and a 14 karat semi-flexible nib. Now this one is a stub, and you can see, and we'll look at another pen in a minute. We've got some flexibility there. It's got your standard Conklin feed, your plastic feed, but wow, it's a great, great looking pen. And if you're not familiar with how crescent filler works, it's very simple. You rotate this lock ring. You see there's a gap there. You rotate that so that is underneath where the crescent is. And once you have that lined up perfectly, you simply press down on the crescent, which compresses. You can see the crescent here is essentially a pressure bar, and it compresses on the sac, which forces air out, or ink if you have it filled, and releasing it allows air to be sucked, or it allows ink to be sucked back into the sac. So you're going to put this in ink up past the end of the section, and you're going to hit that crescent 2, 3, 4 times until you don't see air bubbles coming out into the ink anymore, and then you know it's full. Wait 10, 15 seconds on the last compression and let the ink fill in. And then when you're done, just rotate this lock ring until it's tight. You can rotate it either way, it doesn't really matter. But you want to make sure you rotate it. And what that does is that makes it so you can't accidentally press that down in your pocket. You can't actually, because it does stick out, you don't want to be spurting ink out into the cap. So it's got a nice length there, and you notice that the crescent lines up with the center of the nib, so it's not in an awkward position. The pen posts well. It's maybe a little back heavy here, but depending on where you hold the pen, that might work for you. Let's take a look at this one. Now this one was a stub nib. And let's take a look at this one. This is just another different example, and every one, of course, is different. This one you can see a lot transparency here in the barrel. This one's a medium nib, but let's just see if we can see how this works. Get that lined up. Maybe you can see how the pressure bar compresses against the sack. But this one really has, really not applying too much pressure, and you can see how the tines are spreading. Nice, again, 14 karat nib. It's got the crescent breather hole on the nib. Conklin Crescent there. And again, it lines up nice and perfect so that the crescent doesn't get in your way when you're writing. I would call this a medium weight pen. You've obviously got some metal here, and with the vermeil, the sterling silver, it weighs a little bit more. So there's going to be a little more weight here. Again, posted. It's a fairly large pen. It's a full-size pen. And then, of course, you can, depending on how you cap the pen, the crescent will line up however you want it. Now, the reason it says Mark Twain on here, if you don't know, Mark Twain actually used to endorse Conklin because he called it a profanity saver. It would not roll off your desk. It would stop. And this is back in the day when either you had an eyedropper fill pen with no clip, which was common, or you had a self-filling pen, either a lever filler or a button filler, but there's no protrusion, so if you set it down on your desk, if it wasn't perfectly flat, the pen could roll, and oftentimes would roll right off the desk. So that's why it says Mark Twain. He used to endorse the Conklin brand. The Ambrosia limited edition, 98 pieces. So there you have it. The Conklin Crescent Ambrosia limited edition. Be sure to check us out online at andersonpens.com, our store in Appleton, Wisconsin, or at any number of pen shows nationwide.